wrestlers entering tonight's matches.
Yeah. And then Sam Nagel, state entrant last year.
Sam was a state entrant, and which Nagel working his way up into a looks like a 4-1 lead here as we enter the last minute of the first period. Nagel decides to go ahead and go to the neutral position. Makes the score 4-2.
Keep working on the takedowns until the opportunity for near fall or pinning combination presents itself.
We mentioned Sam Nagel, state entrant last year. They, which reminds me that last year Sam picked up a big win at the Bunyan tournament, which is held in Brainerd every year. Very prestigious tournament, very tough tournament.
That's this
and
weekend.
That is this coming weekend. So your Flyers, if you want to go watch them live and in color up in Brainerd, they will be wrestling Friday night and Saturday. And again, the Bunyan tournament is one of the most prestigious tournaments
it's like
in the
a mini state tournament.
Yep, it's really tough.
And
Nagel picks up the cradle, tick down, and then a cradle. And we have 15 seconds left.
Lost his grip.
Nagel picks up 3 more near fall, making the score 9-2, 7-point lead for Nagel. Here as we enter the last 5 seconds of the first period.
Good mat return. Nagel's going to, Albany defers, and Nagel chooses both up.
Peyton Lynn was a 5th place winner last weekend versus, or at Sauk Center tournament. Nagel finished 4-0 at the Chisago Lakes tournament. I got it right. I didn't say Columbia Heights this time. So Nagel hoping to improve his record to 5-0, has a commanding 9-2 lead at this point. 90 seconds remaining in the second period.
Got an ankle snatch here. Taking him right to
Nagel
his back.
takes him down for another 2 points, making the score 11-2, 9-point lead.
Looking for that, lock up that cradle. Looks like he's got it locked.
Nagel working toward a fall or a tech fall. A tech fall, of course, for you wrestling fans know that a winner, or excuse me, a wrestler who gets a 50, there's a fall. So we don't worry about the tech fall at this point. 6 more points for the Flyers, making the score 34-18.
3:47.
3:47 in the second period. Nagel with his 99th win in his career. Next up, their other ranked wrestler for the Flyers, senior Grant Littke. Congratulations to Grant Littke as being named as a all-area football player by the Morrison County Record last weekend. Had a real nice football season this year for the Flyers. Also, I believe, was all district for the Flyers.
And I believe Grant went undefeated at the duels in Chisago Lakes this weekend.
Yep. Grant, I believe, was he 3-0 or 4-0?
3-0.
3-0.
Quick takedown and escape.
Grant Littke wrestling Riley Rockcoats, I believe is pronounced. Riley.
In on a high crotch. And get a goal behind and finish it. Change to a double. Nope. Got the goal behind. Nice takedown.
Littke picks up another takedown. Leads the match 4-1 here with a minute to go in the first period.
Looking to lock up the cradle. Kind of a false cradle. Don't have the arm yet, but still tight.
There's a. Looks like Rackcoat's in trouble of giving up the fall here for the Huskies.
Looks like there it is. Nope.
3-point near fall for Littke, makes the score 7-1. Good job of fighting out by the Huskies Rackets. Rackets placing 5th in Sauk Center last weekend.
Got that overhook, the arm bar, far wrist. Still time to work it. 45 seconds left on the clock.
Once again, Littke going 3-0 last weekend, picked up at least 2 pins that I know of for sure. One against Hibbing and one against Kenyon Juan Domingo, perhaps. No, excuse me, Centennial.
Now working for the cross-face cradle. running out of time. We've got short time with 15 seconds left. Good way to score a quick 2 here if we can get a turn with the barbed wire.
Grant Litke leading 7-1 in the match. He's going to pick up another couple of back points, perhaps a fall right at the end of the first period. Has the barbed wire, as we call it. Picks up 3 more, I believe. 3 more near fall, makes the score 10-1. 9-point lead. I began to explain the tech fall situation for wrestlers, for those new to the sport. If a wrestler defeats his opponent by more than 15 points or more, he picks up 5 team points for a technical fall. Of course, the goal in wrestling always is to pick up that 6 points in the fall.
Nice high crotch.
Litke again with a quick takedown, makes the score 12-1. We have a 11-point lead for Litke here early in the second period. Litke hoping to improve to 4-0 here early in the season.
He's got to be cautious here with his turns, make sure they're tight so we can get the
There's another far side cradle.
This one looks to be a little tighter. He's got the knee
yeah, there's the fall. He picks up the fall, makes it the 3rd fall in a row, I believe, for the Flyers, making the score 40-18.
Is that 2:52?
2:52 of the second period. Grant Litke picks up win number 4 on the season. I believe the 3rd fall in a row for the Flyers, if my math is right.
Now we're at 195. This looks like Peyton Carl.
195, Peyton Carl. Coming up from the JV to wrestle here on the varsity tonight. Wrestling Gabe Zierden. Gabe Zierden, one of the toughest wrestlers in central Minnesota, currently ranked 2nd in the state at 195, and I believe placed 2nd last weekend behind
the number 1 ranked kid, Cole Fabrands from Sartell.
Cole Fabrands from Sartell, who's ranked 1. So perhaps the preview early in the season of a possible state tournament final.
And I believe that was a 7-6 decision too.
Peyton Carl here out wrestling, Peyton Carl, yes, sophomore from Little Falls, with a tough task on hand to try to keep from giving up the fall against the number 2 ranked wrestler in the state.
Yep, pretty tight there.
Gabe Zierden making a quick work of it here as he gets a fall at 52 seconds in the first period. Gabe Zierden, of course, Zierden's well-known Albany wrestling name for long time. So wrestling family from way back. And he gets the Albany Huskies back in the win column with a pin, making the score
40-24.
40-24. We move on to 220.
Sam Nagel for Little Falls. And Carter Fish for Albany.
Sam Nagel.
Both wrestlers are seniors.
Both wrestlers seniors, and I don't believe Carter wrestled last weekend in Sauk Center, or last Thursday.
Carter's quick in on a single, but Sam fights it off and gets a go behind for a takedown.
Sam Nagel leading 2-0. Senior Sam Nagel from Little Falls has made plans to go on and wrestle at St. John's University and perhaps try to be a 2-sport college athlete and play baseball next year at St. John's. Sam, returning state entrant for the Flyers. And again, I mentioned Little Falls wrestling in that tough Paul Bunyan tournament in Brainerd Friday and Saturday, and Sam went there last year and had a great tournament and was a Bunyan champion, which is no small task for those of you familiar with wrestling and the quality of the Paul Bunyan tournament that Brainerd puts on every year.
Working the ball and chain and underhook for a tilt.
Sam picks up at least 2 near fall. Leads the score 4-0 here as referee Jim Repke awards the 2 points.
Sam's doing nice work on top.
Got an arm bar hooked up here. If he could finish that, it'll make it awful tough for Carter Fish to battle off of, but unfortunately was not able to keep it. 22 seconds remaining in the first period. Nagel continuing to try to work that arm bar. Does get a turn here.
Still time left on the clock, 12 seconds.
There's a fall, picks up
right
a fall at
1
minute, 51 seconds of the first period, making the score 46-24. I believe it's number 4 or 5 fall for Flyers. I have to keep a track.
I think it should be number 5.
46-24. We enter our 285 pound, our final match of this first match here versus the Huskies, the Granite Ridge Conference foes, Albany Huskies. Senior Luke Vensky, 285 pound wrestler, versus Wyatt Mergen of Albany. Vensky in on a underhook.
Snap down by Vensky. Needs to watch it here to stay facing him.
Mergen picks up a single leg and picks up a half Nelson. That's going to be awful tough for Vensky to fight out of. Mergen has the half Nelson in, not as deep as he could have. Otherwise, it's still Vensky battling out.
Battling out from it.
Once again, we'd like to thank fans for joining us here tonight on our first initial broadcast of the 2018-19 Flyer wrestling season. Flyers wrestling the Albany Huskies, leading the match 46-24. Those of you who enjoy watching high school sports are reminded that Thursday night's hockey game versus Wadena will be featured. 7 o'clock
nice
start.
battle. He got out of it.
Luke Vensky battling well off his back, able to fight out of it. We'll see if he can bounce back and score some points here before the end of the period. For those of you that are basketball fans, we have a 12 miles to the east rivalry game on Friday night here at Little Falls, a doubleheader. The Piers Pioneer girls will play the Little Falls Flyer girls at 5:45, followed by the boys at approximately 7:30. Piers Pioneers versus Little Falls in a basketball doubleheader here at the gym Friday night. Hope to see you all here, and if not, tune in to Flyer Media Productions broadcast of those events.
Luke did a nice job battling out of that, and now if we can just work to a base and score a quick escape or reversal before the end of the first period. But running out of time, 5 seconds left.
First period ends 5-0 in favor of, don't have a grade listed here for Wyatt Mergen. But 285 pounders. Mergen chooses down, which I can hear the people in the crowd yelling, watch the cradle, which is probably not bad advice, as you have witnessed tonight here at Little Falls Gymnasium. Little Falls Gymnasium with the new seats and the new floor. Thanks to our community for its support and the building referendum and a much needed upgrade of our facility here at Little Falls High School. A huge thank you goes out to all of the constituents of Little Falls, and what a great job,
really,
and a great looking gym
really turned out
that we have here at Little Falls High School. Referee Repke stops the match. We go back to the center. Vensky on top. Down 5-0, trying to hook up that infamous cradle, which sometimes is a little difficult with heavyweights.
Getting a little too high here.
Vensky brings him back down to the mat. Again, working to try to hook up that cradle. Take the ankle away and hook the cradle. Mergen, of course, trying to fight off the cradle, see if he can come back up to his feet.
Just needs to keep him broke down. Now looking for the step through Turk.
One minute remaining in the second period. 5-0 in favor of Wyatt Mergen, the Albany Huskies. Luke Vensky, wrestling 285 for Little Falls.
We get stall call on Wyatt Mergen, bottom guy, not working up to his base.
Wyatt Mergen took 4th at the Sauk Center tournament last weekend.
Vensky doing a nice job riding on top, working for pinning combinations.
Luke Vensky able to go 2-2 on the weekend at Chisago Lakes scoring 2 fouls, losing a 5-1 match, and giving up a foul of his own. So not a bad weekend for a relatively, he's a senior and he's wrestled a lot, but he hasn't been on the varsity, so steps up to that 285-pound weight class as a senior.
Looks like Mergen's going to choose both up to go into the third period.
Mergen chooses a neutral position, puts them both on their feet as they enter the third period. 5-0.
Vensky's got to get a takedown here and some near fall points. In on a fireman.
Mergen able to hook up the fireman again. He has not been able to score the 2 points, and they'll go off the mat.
Vensky did a nice job sprawling to get out of that.
Vensky, one of our seniors who spent his summer getting ready perhaps for his senior season, enjoying the sun and adventure of participating in Army boot camp.
Yes.
So Luke was finished boot camp and was back in time to play football this year. Did a nice job for the Flyer football team.
Oh, missed the headlock.
Vensky trying to score some quick points here. Down 5-0 was unfortunately Mergen able to slip out of the headlock attempt by Vensky. Makes the score 7-0. 1:20 remaining in the third period. This is our initial broadcast in the 2018-19 winter season and wrestling season for the Little Falls Flyers. 7-1 as Vensky battles back up to his feet. 1 minute remaining.
You just keep that inside control. Look for underhooks.
Luke Vensky down 7-1. Shoots in on a double leg.
Not too often you see too many heavyweights.
I was just going to make the same comment. My co-host tonight, Larry Edgerton, longtime wrestled for St. James High School and then moved on.
There's Vensky's in on a nice single leg deep. He's got the takedown.
Head coach at Long Prairie for how many years, Larry?
I think it was 7 years.
7 years at Long Prairie. Joins the Flyer family here a few years back. And his wife moving to Little Falls about 5 years ago?
Yeah.
5 years
Roughly,
ago.
yeah, about 5 years ago.
Luke Vensky scores takedown 7-3. Going to run out of time here in this third period.
Good
Wyatt
battle.
Mergens.
Good way to end. Positive note for Vensky to finish strong.
Wyatt Mergens wins the match in a decision, making the final score 46-27 in favor of the Flyers. So a good opening start here for the Flyers here, winning the big conference match against the Albany Huskies. Flyers will get to sit and watch Albany wrestle the ROCORI Spartans, who they faced on Thursday in some of the individual matches. Not sure how many, but they did have some matches. So
yeah, there'll be some rematches between ROCORI and Albany from their weekend tournament.
So as we wrap up our first match here at Flyer Gymnasium, we watched Flyers defeat Albany 46-27. We will be joining you in approximately, let's see what time it is, 6:15. I would say that we will be on the air
about an hour and a half,
broadcasting at approximately 8 o'clock, 7:45. We will have our final dual meet of the night versus longtime Central Lakes Conference and Section 8 AAA rival, former AAA rival, now ROCORI's in AA. But the ROCORI Spartans, many battles here in Little Falls Gymnasium between the ROCORI Spartans and the Flyers. That will sign you off here until we see you at 8 o'clock. Thank you once again for joining Flyer Media's Productions broadcast of Little Falls Flyer Wrestling. So plug the Thursday, Friday a couple times. Plug the button this weekend. they were the Bunny this weekend. So they took it, so I don't know what the rest is going to be. You don't have to get too far out in front of it. So potential big deal here in the next match. Nagel's got 99 points. Good. 99. So So we'll have they're going to do an award. They'll do a little recognition. 100 wins is a big deal.
Wrestling at 126 pounds for the Spartans, Carter Taylor. For the Huskies, Connor Winkles. pounds for the Spartans, Logan Winter. For the Huskies, Tate Pollard.
Central Minnesota.
In that last match, it was an 8-7 victory for Wyatt Bourbon.
Stumper. Stumpy. On. Guess speaker. So famous Harry Larry the Axel. I was a man. Yeah, it's Tony. I was a man. I had to grab the guy's foot, pull him off of Johnny. Johnny come back and won. Tim actually pushed the guy. Only touching the wrestler. They were all
Good evening once again, Flyer Wrestling and Flyer Activities fans. Thank you for joining us here for our final match of this opening evening for Little Falls Wrestling here in 2018-19 as they wrestled a longtime CLC rival ROCORI Spartans. And this is again the final match of the evening. Little Falls, defeated Albany in the first match, 46-27, and Albany defeated ROCORI 38-30 in the match that just preceded this one here tonight. Once again, we look forward to this second match. Little Falls dominating that first match, Larry, against Albany.
Wrestled very well against Albany.
Very impressive, pretty dominating score, and also in that mix was a close decision, and then two overtime losses for Little Falls. So you got to like the way they wrestled in that first match, and I know that Coach Hendrickson's got them ready to come out here again and battle the longtime nemesis ROCORI Spartans here in the second match.
I think we're wrestling 12 weights this time instead of 14.
Good point, and you know the new rule this year in wrestling is that if a team would like to wrestle less than the 14, which is normal by the National Federation standards. Minnesota State High School last year gave teams permission to do that. The reason for that is that several schools are having trouble fielding teams, and they wanted the dual meets to be more
competitive.
More competitive. So instead of having 3, 4, 5 forfeits, teams could choose to wrestle 12 or I think even 10 matches in a dual meet. So tonight, ROCORI has requested to wrestle 12 instead of the 14, so we'll see where their weight's at. I don't have that information at this time.
Nope. So
we'll go ahead and start it.
113.
Is that where we're starting right now?
Starting at 113.
113. So
Gavin
we've got
Winter and Austin Litke.
Austin Litke was able to win his match against Albany tonight in impressive fashion. Major decision.
Major decision. Austin's quick in on the legs.
Against his Albany teammate. And tonight Gavin Winter, 8th grader, wrestling against Austin Litke, 9th grader. Of course, Litke moving up to wrestle the 113.
Yep, giving up quite a bit of weight.
Giving up weight and looks like body type as he's quite a bit taller is Gavin Winter. Again, Flyer fans, we thank you, and thanks to Flyer Media Productions for helping us bring these broadcasts to you, streaming here live and presented throughout the area. Thanks to the crew of the Flyer Media Productions for putting this all together tonight. Again, I'm Mike Olson, currently Little Falls assistant principal, also longtime wrestling coach here at Little Falls High School, but I've been out of the business for a little bit of the coaching end of it. Still get to do quite a bit of wrestling, to work the state tournament every year, which is a lot of fun to stay involved in wrestling, something that's been a big part of my life. Joined tonight by Larry Edgerton, principal out at Lincoln Elementary, and Dr. S.G. Knight, and again a longtime wrestled in high school for St. James and did quite a bit of coaching, including a stint as a Long Prairie head coach where they were very successful, sending many teams to the state tournament.
A couple state champions.
So, as he's well known in some circles, Larry the Crippler Edgerton.
Yeah. My all-star wrestling days.
We were both sharing our experiences on some of the wrestling fundraising events that have gone on, and of course Little Falls hosted one a few years back. Litke given a warning for stalling on the bottom. ROCORI ahead in the match 2-0. So Austin Litke having trouble getting anything going on the bottom there with his.
Got to get moving against those taller guys.
Longer and bigger 8th grader for ROCORI. Litke quite a battler though. He's got a ton of experience, done a lot of youth wrestling throughout the area. A lot of middle school wrestling, and here joining us really full time, his first year on the varsity. First period ends with a 2-0 score. Gavin Winter in front of Austin Litke.
Yep, choosing to go down.
Gavin goes down. Austin Litke, of course, will attempt to do a breakdown, take things away as he perhaps pick up the patented Flyer cradle. I saw the ROCORI head coach, I believe Dustin Kramer is his name, showing the ROCORI wrestlers the counter to the cradle here earlier. Winter, able to get in a 1-point escape, leads the match 3-0 with 90 seconds to go approximately in the second period.
Got a stalemate, so we'll go back on both on their feet.
Refereeing tonight brought from the St. Cloud Officials Association, Jim Repke, puts them both on their feet, calls a stalemate. Let's get things going, he says. And so once again, they go to the center of the mat. Winter able to do a shuck or a pass by, whatever you want to call it, for 2 points here. Leads the match 5-0. Litke still trying to battle and get up and try to break away from his longer, taller opponent here, 8th grader Gavin Winter. ROCORI wrestled last Thursday in the Sauk Center invite, as did the Albany Huskies. ROCORI finishing 1 point ahead of Albany in that tournament, finishing 4th. However, Albany was able to defeat ROCORI in the dual meet tonight, 38-30. Gavin Winter wrestling at 113, placed 3rd last week in that Sauk Center early bird tournament.
And Austin Litke just got called for stalling, gave up a stalling point, not working to get up off the bottom there.
Match score now 6-0, excuse me, not match score, yes, match score 6-0.
6-1 now with an escape from
6-1.
Litke.
Winter decided to go ahead and let Litke back up, try to take him down again, perhaps looking for some extra team points here as he goes. And he does pick up 2 takedown, makes the score 8-1 with a difference of 7 points. Litke in there blocking. Referee Repke looking closely. Litke's going to have to be careful he doesn't get called for another stalling call. Litke's choice, he's going to go ahead and take the top position again, see if he can make some points or gets anything going here with the Flyer cradle. And puts 8th grader Gavin Winter down. And again, this is Litke's first experience at really extensive time here on the varsity, and he'll gain a lot of experience as his year goes on.
Yep, battling well.
Battles hard. Again, this match here, maybe a little outmatched size-wise with length and weight.
In danger of giving up a reversal.
Winter able to, well, he hasn't picked it up yet. Litke's still trying to battle back here, not to give up the reversal. There's 2.
Still got a hold of that leg.
Still got a hold of that leg. Referee cannot award the 2 until he clears that leg. There's an overhook. Hooked. There's 2.
Yep.
So
down 1-10 now.
Gavin Winter gets another takedown, 10-1. If the match ended now, it currently would be a major decision. Winter decides to go back up on his feet. Match was stopped momentarily for a potentially dangerous situation. Litke and Winter again up on their feet battling. Litke again continues to battle hard and go after him. 10-2 score, 8-point difference in the match.
Takedown from Litke would be huge here to keep it to a major decision. But he's got to stay in there and wrestle so he doesn't get called for another stall call.
45 seconds to go here in the third period. 10-2. Gavin Winter of ROCORI in front of. There's another stalling, gives up another point. That'll make it 11-2. Next stalling point given up, if it happens, by Litke would be a 2-pointer. Litke continuing to battle, move forward, just cannot get to find any openings in that longer, taller, bigger framed wrestler from ROCORI.
Winter attempted a shuck with a little go behind, get that leg hook.
He does have it hooked. He should get 2, makes it 13-2. 11-point decision. Again, working for every team point they can garner, trying to get, with time running out here at 10 seconds, probably won't get the tech fall, but will pick up a major decision here to start this dual meet versus Little Falls Flyers versus the ROCORI Spartans. And that does end the match, gives 4 points for ROCORI in this opening match. 13-2. Gavin Winter over Austin Litke. We'll see where our next weight is here. I believe it's going to move up to 120.
And on the program, it looks like ROCORI is open here.
Winner by forfeit for the Flyers, Bryce Beauty.
And ROCORI is open at 120. Therefore, Bryce Udy, 120-pound ninth grader for Little Falls, picks up a win tonight via the forfeit. We'll move up to 126, where Calvin Sherwood will be facing Carter Thielen.
For the Flyers, Calvin Sherwood.
Carter a sophomore and Calvin a sophomore, so we had a couple sophomores squaring off here in this 126-pound match. Sherwood did a nice job of gave up some early points in that match against Albany. Did a nice job of battling back. It was one of those overtime matches, I believe. If I recall, I should have wrote that down. Carter finished second at the Sauk Center Early Bird, so he brings a successful first tournament to the table here tonight. Or to the mat, I should say, not the table.
And he's listed as one of the wrestlers to watch.
ROCORI currently doesn't have anybody that's ranked in the Guillotine coaches poll. Little Falls, of course, with 2 ranked wrestlers at this time. Gabe Nagel, currently number 5 at 160, and Grant Litke, currently ranked number 9 at 182. So, in both of those wrestlers successfully defending that ranking in their first match tonight against Albany, with both getting falls and leading their team in that 46 to 46, correct?
47.
47 to 27 victory for the Flyers.
I guess we should have wrote it down.
We should have wrote it down. I think I'm getting older, by the way. Thielen with a 2-point takedown here leads with about 45 seconds left to go in this first period. Attempting to pull the arm through, perhaps tilt Sherwood to his back for some near fall points, trying to get a
little
arm
underhook here.
Underhook. Sherwood, again, did a nice job of battling in that Albany match to come back after being behind. There is a couple of near fall points awarded by or not awarded yet, but earned by Thielen. Sherwood spins through, perhaps can get away for a escape, but not able to. 3-point near fall. Picked up by Thielen here in a tilt situation. 10 seconds remaining in this first period. Sherwood down 5-0 to sophomore Carter Thielen of ROCORI. It brings the first period to an end. 5-0, ROCORI in the lead. Calvin Sherwood choice. He decides to defer to Carter Thielen. Carter Thielen is going to go ahead and take the down position. So
that's always dangerous.
Puts Calvin Sherwood up on top, and I'm sure the first thought in his mind is an overhook to see if he can work a far side cradle.
Yep.
And so
get that leg hook.
Thielen, of course, did a nice job of beating him to the punch with the first move, and was able to get an escape. Makes the score 6-0 early in the second period. Both wrestlers come to their feet. Wrestlers hooked up in elbow collar tire. There's Sherwood and Thielen. Had a little scramble situation there. Wasn't quite sure what happened. It looks like Thielen lost his balance and Sherwood unable to take advantage of it. As we enter this final match tonight versus ROCORI, just a reminder to Flyer fans, Thursday night hockey game at the Flyer Arena, Flyer Exchange Arena, against Wadena Deer Creek. 7 o'clock puck drop at that, and also be aired here by Flyer Media Productions. And quite a nice scramble at the end of that period. Thielen able to defend Sherwood's shot and attempted a single leg takedown, but Thielen was able to defend it. So once again, hockey Thursday night here on Flyer Media Productions, followed by a big doubleheader Friday night versus the Pierce Pioneers, coming from the east here, 12 miles, to play a couple basketball games. The girls start at 5:45 with the boys to follow at approximately 7:30. So if you can't join us here in Flyer Gym, you're welcome to join Flyer Media. There's a nice takedown for Sherwood. This match shaping up to have having remnants of the first match that Sherwood had tonight, where he fell behind early but is able to battle back. Sherwood currently has a Cradle hooked up, but was not able to pick up the arm, but still working on getting some points. And there he's got him brought to his back. Be hard to get a fall.
Tight.
Pretty hard to get a fall without that arm hook, but he does have pretty good.
There
There it is, a fall. So Sherwood with a great job of coming back from a 6-0 deficit to take Thielen to his back and put him in the cradle and get a fall. So 6 points for the Flyer team, makes the score 6-4.
Fall at 3:38.
As we enter the 132-pound match. Flyer junior Cole Kern looks like he's making his way to the table and to be checked in. 132.
At 132 pounds, winner by forfeit for the Spartans, Austin Macho.
I take that back. 132. We've got a forfeit by Little Falls to ROCORI. ROCORI's Austin Macho, 9th grader, picks up a forfeit win. And so that brings Cole Kern out at 138 to square off
138 pounds for the Spartans, Luke Hemish.
against Luke Hemish, 9th grader. So we got a junior in Cole Kern who had one of those nice matches where he battled back.
He battled back as well.
Battled back and unfortunately was defeated in overtime, but a nice job coming back. And there's a shot by Cole Kern, attempted a double leg takedown.
Both wrestlers trying to fill each other out a little bit here in the center.
Luke Hemish wrestled at 145 at the Sauk Center Early Bird and finished 4th at 145. Tonight comes down to 138 against Kern. Kern up, picking up a single. Hemish with the headlock.
Uh-oh.
Hemish
on a
picks
nice
up
single
a
and caught the headlock.
And Kern battling, trying to stay off his back, give up that fall. Hemish currently with a 2 for the takedown for the headlock and 3 points back, 3 back points awaited to be awarded here by.
Oh, he's got the leg hook.
There's
should be able to roll
Kern
through it.
rolls through, so nice job of reversing. Picks up 2 back, so makes the score 5-2 in this match with 50 seconds remaining here in the first period. Quite a little bit of action there.
Need to get an anchor here.
So Kern throws
high.
a leg in, tries to see if he can get maybe a fresh start here and get a little solid hook up. Kern attempts a tilt on Hemish, wasn't able to pick it up. There's a cradle. Kern's got the cradle hooked up. We'll see if he can bring him back for some back points, perhaps tie the score here late in the first period. And there it is.
Nope.
Not able to hold him, however, is Kern.
Now he should be able to hip across.
There's
Lost his grip.
lost his cradle. 15 seconds to go. Kern looking to hook up a far side cradle again. And Hemish battling back. There's a potential tilt. Not able to hold it for the 2 count needed for 2 points. That brings us to the end of the first period with Luke Hemish, 9th grader from ROCORI, leading junior Cole Kern 5-2. Kern has a choice in the second period, decides to defer to his opponent from ROCORI, and ROCORI will take the neutral position. See if he can take Kern down again in that perhaps looking for another headlock. Kern did a nice job of battling back, fighting off his back and picking up 2 reversal. Both wrestlers kind of feeling each other out here as we get started here in the second period.
Nice to see Kern shoot back in on that high crotch and this time finish it.
Yep, you can hear the Flyer coaches reminding Kern to stay open, not to get tied up, and see if we can hit that high crotch. Referee Repke reminding the wrestlers to kind of get it going here as both of them are kind of just feeling each other out. Kern tries an overhook here but doesn't have head position, which fortunately gets thrown off the back. Coaches over there reminding Cole if he's going to do that overhook, he's got to have head position with that, which means his head has to be inside of the opponent's head. There's a beautiful single leg takedown, but he's unable to finish it as Hemish able to battle back off of the shot by Kern.
Under a minute left to go now in the second period.
Kern and Hemish trying to feel each other out. There's an arm drag attempt by Kern. Another headlock by Hemish.
Got to roll through.
He's able to finish it. There he's going to pick up another possible Kern trying to roll him through. Hamish picks up 2, and there's getting awful close to a fall. Kern attempting to battle back. He continues to battle.
Hamish doing a better job keeping his legs out past the head here.
There's it is, picks up the fall. 3 minutes and 39 seconds of the second period. Fall for ROCORI. Luke Hamish, 9th grader, picks up 16 points for ROCORI and makes that team score 16-12 as we enter the 145-pound match. 145, Simon Pansky had a real nice weekend for the Flyers last weekend in Chisago Lakes, picking up 4 wins. Goes 4-0 on the day. Looks like Simon will be rewarded with a forfeit here tonight. So that brings another 6 points for the Flyers, making the score 18-16. I think that's up to date.
I believe so.
We move up to the 152-pound match. Looks.
For the Spartans, Logan Winter. For the Flyers, Aiden St. Ange.
So we got Logan Winter moves up to 145, wrestles Aiden St. Ange of Little Falls, sophomore Aiden St. Ange. Aiden had a nice job of battling in that first match against Albany. Continued to battle throughout the match, and here's Aiden battling. Winter was able to pick up the takedown.
A little
St.
high
Ange
on
picks
his
up
cradle
the leg and perhaps can use that to try to get some points back here.
Winter's got the cradle locked up on top. Oh, broke his grip. He's able to take St. Ange over.
Doesn't look like Winter wrestled in the Sox Center, so this may be his initial matches here tonight. Does have St. Ange hooked up in a far side cradle, fairly tight cradle.
Pretty tight. Oh.
St. Ange able to break the grip and pop himself free. Winter picks up 3 back points, make the score 5-0 here at the end of the about 40 seconds to go in the first period. Winter again working the cradle if he can. St. Ange, of course, used to probably defending that cradle in practice every day.
Working on the hands here.
Winter does get hooked up again, is able to roll through, but St. Ange able to roll through as well.
Come out.
Winter not able to hold him for the near fall. Breaks the grip, able to pick up a leg, perhaps can score here at the end of the period. And there's St. Ange. He's got Winter in trouble as he has
hand around the waist.
He's got Winter hips on the mat. There's a hand around the waist. Looks like perhaps we can pick up.
Gonna run out of time.
We're gonna run out of time to pick up even an escape here. It looks like to me. No points. That closes out the first period with a score of 5-2. We roll into the second period with Little Falls choice.
5-0.
5-0. I was thinking second period and score at the same time. 5-0. St. Ange defers. Winter decides to go ahead and take that up position.
Looking for a Granby roll. St. Ange doing a nice job with the hand control, so Winter can't get in with the crossface. Looks like we have stoppage match.
We have a little blood
time.
time. Coaches will get a chance to Coach Hendrickson, longtime Little Falls head coach. One of only 3 head coaches in Little Falls wrestling history. Of course, the program started back in, I think, 1967, if my memory is correct, with the first head coach, Bill Hubbard, followed by his longtime assistant, Ben Benson, who was then followed by his longtime assistants, Mike Hendrickson. So not many teams or activity sports, what have you, that can say that they've only had 3 head coaches in the history of the program.
Not this day and age, no.
So
pretty impressive.
Credit to the wrestling program, the consistency that it's had over the course of time, and being one of the more successful programs Little Falls has had the pleasure to sponsor, and looking for another successful season out of the Flyers this year. They're going to be tested, of course, this weekend as they head to Brainerd for the infamous Paul Bunyan Invite, one of the most prestigious and toughest tournaments, especially early in the year, that you're going to find in the state of Minnesota. So
yeah, there'll be a lot of tough wrestlers going
Flyers,
head-to-head.
Flyers hoping to do well on both starts on Friday night and finishes on Saturday. So we wish the Flyer wrestlers the best, and if you want to see some great wrestling, encourage you to make your way to Brainerd Gymnasium and either Friday or Saturday. Saturday's final, actually Saturday's semis should be really interesting. So Winter is able to pick up the cradle once again and is able to pick up
near fall points.
No points.
No fear and fall. Still got it locked up though.
St. Ange able to battle out, but unfortunately not able to break the grip at this point. Winter really struggling trying to get that turn. St. Ange dropping the hip down, not allowing it to happen. Now he's battling back. He's got the leg picked up. If he can break the grip, he might have Winter in trouble.
Oh.
There he is. He picks up a reversal. And he's got a half Nelson.
Still a lot of time left on the clock too.
50 seconds approximately left for St. Ange to continue to work toward the fall. And there it is.
Wow.
Comeback win for Aiden St. Ange, down 5-2. Comes back and catches Winter.
That's a big win for the Flyers.
Senior Logan Winter and picks up a fall here, making the team score 24-16. Big win for sophomore Aiden St. Ange. Moving on to our 160-pound match. Looks like we have sophomore Justin Morris. Again, I mentioned earlier, coming up off the JV roster for a big win against Albany with a fall in the first period. Now comes out and gets ready to prepare to wrestle
At 160 pounds,
Ryan Rose of ROCORI.
Ninth grader from ROCORI.
Ninth grader Ryan Rose and sophomore Justin Morris of Little Falls to square off here in the 160-pound match. There's Justin Morris with a nice single leg takedown. Picks up 2 points. Morris really working hard, trying to get that cradle hooked up and see if we can turn him. Got a little sloppy there on the corner, and was going to have to try to work his way back to get some control. Puts a half Nelson in, it looks like. And able to break Rose down to the mat. Ryan Rose, 4th place finisher at the Sauk Center invite earlier last Thursday to be exact. Referee calls a stalemate, breaks the action. Morris able to pick up an ankle here, perhaps. Does pick up a leg, takes Rose back to the mat.
Working on the half Nelson now.
Working on trying to pick up the high half. Lets it go, see if he can break him back down to the mat.
Now working the crossface cradle.
A lot of action here in the first period. Both wrestlers having quite a bit of effort here.
Morris is working hard on top. A lot of different pinning combinations thrown in there.
45 seconds remaining in this first period here. Flyer Gym, where the Flyer wrestling team, first home duels of the season, defeated Albany earlier tonight. Now looking to repeat and win 2 matches here tonight. ROCORI wrestler Ryan Rose with a reversal over Morris. Morsel hits a Granby.
Nice Granby.
Able to pick up a reversal and back points.
Now he just got to be patient, get his back points, and then work for the fall.
Work toward the head here if he can. Get the pressure toward the head. There he's able to pick it up and get on top. Picks up 3 near fall, making the score.
Looks like he just got the 2
near fall. Sorry. Have to check.
Running out of time here in the
check
first period.
referees. Count on that. I thought he was pretty close to a 3-second or a 5-second count for a 3-point near fall, but I just missed it, I guess. So Rose's choice, he defers to Little Falls. Little Falls is going to go ahead and take the neutral position. See if we can continue to take Ryan Rose down. Again, this is the first night of matches for Justin Morris.
Nice power duck.
Picks up what we used to call the head chance. I'm not sure teams call things different things. We called it a head chance.
We called it the Power duck.
Power duck, and so nice job. Picks up 2 more. 8-2 is your match score here with 30 seconds gone approximately in the second period. Mr. Morris working again on top, trying to pick up some kind of a pinning combination. Did a nice job in that first period of switching off, trying different things. Still trying to look like he's trying to pick up a near side ankle or pick up something. Looks like he's trying to hook up a near side cradle if he can. Got his head buried in the ribs and see if he can pop that hip up and get a turn.
Getting a little too high and out of control. Gave up a reversal.
Rose able to get into a double leg situation and pop through for 2 points. Morris down ahead 8-4. Down on the mat at this time. 35 seconds remain in the second period.
Again,
there goes that trying to pick up the Granby. Lost the wrist, unfortunately, there. And there's Justin turning back in, perhaps into a double leg situation, if he can. Trying to work the single leg at this time. 10 seconds remaining here in the second period. 8-4. Justin Morris in the lead. Currently on the mat. Ryan Rose in the control position. That'll bring us to the end of our second period to score 8-4 in favor of Justin Morris, sophomore from Little Falls.
Looks like ROCORI's going to choose down. Nope, going to choose neutral.
Ryan Rose deciding to go to the feet, so both wrestlers with their choice choosing to go to the neutral position. A little bit of test to see who's in better shape here early in the season, as they've been doing a lot of action here in this under 60-pound match. There's Justin Morris losing the headlock, and Rose able to take him to the mat. The referee stops for an equipment repair, which I believe is constituted as a injury timeout. Nope, just calling it my time.
Just timeout. Started legal and then it came off during the match. So
wrestling still has some dress code, if you will, with hair and mustache and sideburns, and so wrestlers, if they don't meet the dress code with their hair, have to wear a protective covering, swim cap, if you will, basically. Minute 37 to go in this match. 8-6 the score. Justin Morris currently in the lead, but on the bottom with Ryan Rose trying to get a turn to see if he can tie this thing up or perhaps take the lead. Justin Morris battling back off the mat, comes up to his base.
Rose is working for a turn here with the butcher. Possibly into a cradle.
Possibly into a far side cradle, and he does have it hooked up. Well, had it hooked up, but Morris able to battle off, break the grip. 1 minute remaining in this final match. 8-6. Morris in front. He's trying to set up his Granby roll again, and there he picks it up. Able to pick up the reversal. No back points, however. Picks the score 10-6. Now has the ankle hooked up. Has the ankle picked up. Perhaps can work his far side cradle. 40 seconds remaining in the third period. 4-point lead for the Little Falls wrestler, Justin Morris. 30 seconds remaining in this third period.
Yep, just got to keep that anchor locked and not
do
too
anything
high.
Like maybe perhaps was thinking about rolling through it, and could hear the coaches tell him they didn't like that idea very well. Rose comes to his feet, makes the score 10-7 with 15 seconds. Takes Morris down, making the score 10-9.
10 seconds to
ROCORI
go.
coaches encouraging Rose to get out, try to get a turn here. Morris trying to hang on for a 1-point win. Coaches encouraging both wrestlers to go.
Nice effort by both wrestlers.
Nice effort, quite a bit of action in that 160-pound match. Justin Morris prevailing tonight, 10-9 against the ROCORI wrestler. Justin Morris picks up his second win on the night for the Flyers tonight. Makes the team score 27-16. Next up, we have Gabe Nagel. I'd like to draw the Flyer fans' attention to this match. If he looks like ROCORI might not present a wrestler, which is kind of unfortunate because this win tonight is going to go ahead and give Gabe Nagel his 100th win, which is a milestone for any wrestler. And
but he'll take
so
it.
Right now, bringing a fan out in a T-shirt showing that he's got the 100 win. 100 wins for Gabe Nagel as a sophomore. It's pretty impressive.
Quite an accomplishment.
Many more victories are headed his way, of course, hopefully.
And I would bet he's got his eyes set on the school record for most wins with 196.
Yep, currently held. Dylan Kiefer has 196 wins, and I'm sure, again, we have another forfeit at 182. Grant Lickey picking up a forfeit, which brings his record to 6-0, or 5-0 on the season. Nagel's goes to 6-0. Now we see Gabe's big brother Sam coming out to wrestle at 220. 220 pound Ben Primus of ROCORI, 11th grader, to wrestle
Sam Nagel.
Sam Nagel.
State entrant last year. Both wrestlers filling each other out here, a little tap and go and controlling inside.
Sam Nagel wrestling in that tough Chisago Lakes dual meet tournament last weekend that Little Falls was involved in. Faced a couple really tough wrestlers and lost 2 of them, but won 2. So he won early, makes his record for the year 3-2, and hoping to cap off another win here for the Flyers. Flyers up 39-16 here in the final dual meet of the night of this opening evening for Flyer wrestling here at
nice
Little
little
Falls Gym.
shuck go by.
Sam Nagel shucks Ben Primus to the mat to pick up 2 points. Sam riding a wrist here, trying to get a breakdown, perhaps get a tilt. 50 seconds remaining here in the first period, 2-0 Nagel. As we mentioned in the earlier broadcast tonight, Sam Nagel going to be attending St. John's University in the fall. Hoping to be part of that St. John's University wrestling team and play baseball as well.
Cuts him with 35 seconds left. Hopefully score another takedown to end the first period.
Again, Sam Nagel lets Primus up with not much time remaining here, trying to pick up another takedown here before the period. Down to 15 seconds to try to pick up that score. Five seconds to go here in the first period. Nagel does pick up a shuck, picks up 2, and then lets him go with a second to go. 4-2.
Lost sight of the time. Nagel's going to choose back up going into the second period.
ROCORI defers their choice, and Nagel takes neutral as he's a little upset with himself when he realized what he had done at the end of there. But Sam's got a lot of wrestling experience, and everyone just kind of got away from him a little bit. We're at the 220-pound match here. 1 more remaining in tonight's Little Falls Flyer triangular with Albany and ROCORI coming to town. Little Falls defeating Albany earlier tonight, as we mentioned. There's Sam Nagel, picks up a snatch single and needs to bring his opponent Primus to the mat, which he does. Pick up 2 more. Makes the score 6-2.
Now he's got time to work some pinning combinations here.
Score 6-2, as we said, with 1 minute remaining in the second period. Nagel has his ROCORI opponent on the mat, attempted to perhaps get a turn. Based on the first period, we'll see if he can go ahead and continues to ride, or if he lets him up to try. And there's the snap down. Unfortunately, not able to.
Just missed the chin drop.
Missed the chin drop there, and tried to hold it for some near fall points. Wasn't able to do it. Nagel pulls a wrist in, perhaps looking for a tilt, or perhaps hooking up. There's a tilt attempt by Sam Nagel. Not able to pop the hips of wrestler Ben Primus to the mat, so not able to pick up the near fall. Jim got a little quiet here all of a sudden on us. Again,
Action
joined by
slowing
longtime wrestling expert Larry the Crippler Edgerton, as he's known.
Now he's got the crossbody right in and working for a tilt here. Time run out.
That's the end of the second period. 6-2 Sam Nagel in front of junior Ben Primus of ROCORI.
ROCORI's going to go
ROCORI's
neutral.
choice. He decides to go neutral as well. Nagel will attempt to gain his 4th takedown of the match. He currently has 3 takedowns and 2 escapes here. Makes the score 6-2.
Looks like he's trying to set up that little throw by again on for the takedown. Primus
Got an
wasn't having anything to do with it.
underhook by Nagel, overhook by Primus. Primus has head position, however. Nagel able to sprawl and perhaps bury Primus's head in the mat, perhaps get his leg free and spin behind for 2 points. Trying to break that leg free. He is able to break the grip and pick up his 4th takedown of the match tonight. Makes the score 8-2, 6-point lead. Nagel looking to try to hook up some kind of a pinning combination. Decides to go ahead and
cut him and take him down again, hopefully.
Under a minute here to go as we enter with about 50 seconds left to go in this 3rd period of the 220-pound match. Nagel comes in looking to try to score some points here off a takedown. Does pick up the takedown, make the score 10-3, 7-point lead.
He's got the legs in, reaching for
trying
cross.
to drive Primus forward and see if he can pop those shoulders through for some near fall points. Pick up
extra points here for major decision.
Pick up a major decision, which picks up 1 extra match point, but referee decides that we got a stalemate and bring them back to their feet. 27 seconds.
I would cut him and take him down again to get that major.
Sam decides to go ahead and try to look for the near fall, and coaches appear content to go away with the decision if we can get that. And Sam, of course, working the turn yet still with 15 seconds to go. Down to 10 seconds to go approximately. Closing in on our end of our 220-pound match here at Flyer Gymnasium with Sam Nagel defeating Ben Primus 10-3. Picks up a 3-point decision for the Flyers, which brings the score to 42-16. We're down to our final match of the evening. We have 285-pound senior Luke Vensky against senior Nate
Evans.
Evans,
they announced earlier.
Okay. Nate Evans from ROCORI will wrestle Luke Vensky. Luke with a big win, did a nice job of wrestling back, but was defeated unfortunately by Albany. Nate Evans placed 3rd at the Sauk Center tournament, and I think I looked earlier, Luke Vensky went 2-2.
2-2 at
Chisago Lakes. So probably a couple closely matched seniors here as we enter our final match. Vensky shoots in on a single leg. Again, we've seen some shots today by Vensky, which you don't often see sometimes with heavyweight wrestlers, but he's able to shoot under. Not able to finish at this point. Luke stays with that single leg takedown.
Turn the corner now.
Head goes inside.
Lost his grip. Now
Luke
he's got
decided to back out and try for another takedown here of some type. Vensky getting a little anxious, took a shot that might have been a little
wild.
Dangerous, so backed out of that. In and on a single leg takedown, trying to turn the corner, pick up 2 points here early in this heavyweight match. Luke again in on the legs.
Double, but got to get the head to the outside or cut through.
Coming up with them, trying to pop him over. Evans snaps him, breaks Vensky down to his hip, and picks up the 2 points, 2-0. ROCORI 285 pounder. Nate Evans of ROCORI.
Got 30
Evans, I got
seconds.
two different spellings for that. I got Evans and Evans, so maybe a spell check called it Evans.
I think they announced him Evans.
Okay. Vensky again battling back, trying to come up, score some points here at the end of the first period. And there he does. He gets his one with 10 seconds to go. Makes the score 2-1 in favor of Evans. A couple of seniors square off here.
So go into the second period here. Vensky down 2-1. Vensky's choice.
Vensky's choice looks like he will defer. Evans decides to go ahead and go back to the feet, as we typically see in our 285-pound matches. Neither one really wants to be on the mat sometimes.
Nope.
So
it's a lot of weight to uphold.
Vensky shoots in again on that single leg takedown.
Got to come up off his belly before Evans spins around and gets it 2. There we go. Get your head to the outside.
Evans did a nice job of knocking Vensky down to his hip, which is going to allow him to spin behind and pick up 2 points here. 4-2 goes into the butcher, or barbed wire, as we call barbed wire. Anyway, 4-1 in favor of Evans of ROCORI here in the 285-pound match, final match of the evening. One minute remaining in the second period. Vensky coming to his feet. Hopefully can create some type of movement here that will get him on top. And there he is.
Nice move. Oh,
he does. Looks like we've got Evans
could be
in trouble. Luke Vensky's got it tight. It looks like it could be a fall here to finish up our matches tonight.
Good way to end.
And it is. Luke Vensky picks up the fall at 285, which will make our final score 48-16. The Little Falls Flyer defeating the ROCORI Spartans.
Good way to end the night.
Great way to end the night here, and we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Flyer Media Productions
and
presentation.
Congratulations again to Gabe Nagel on his 100th career win.
Yes, huge congratulations to Gabe. He's worked very hard to get where he is today, and we continue to see success out of the Flyer wrestlers this year, we hope. Again, joining me tonight is Larry Edgerton. And yours truly, Mike Olson, hoping you enjoyed our broadcast tonight, and reminding Flyer fans, Thursday night hockey game right here on Flyer Media Productions at 7 o'clock. Wadena Deer Creek comes to Little Falls Exchange Arena. Also the next night, Friday night, right here in the gym, we have a basketball doubleheader between the Piers Pioneers and the Little Falls Flyer girls at 5:45, and a boys basketball to follow up with a doubleheader that night at about 7:30. And Larry, one of the biggest tournaments of the year on Friday night.
Very tough individual tournament, and if you want to see some great wrestling taking place, head up to Brainerd on Friday evening or all day Saturday and watch the Paul Bunyan Invitational. Once again, we thank you for listening in tonight, and hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and hope to see you here at Flyer Gym soon. With that, we'll sign off. Have a great evening, and go Flyers.